Hey you guys, it's Illy Trading. I'm starving. I had my one job today and um just a little hungry. But anyway, so here to do a review on what I'm looking at for this week. I know it's Wednesday. It's like, girl, you in the middle of the week, but it don't matter. It doesn't matter because here I am. So anyway, I don't know if you guys know, but I love Japan 225, Nikolai 225. I know it is absolutely crazy. Girl, why are you so crazy? But that's who I am. That's what I love. Japan 225 really reminds me of the NAS. So sometimes when I actually don't have the margin for it, I will go to NAS. But to me, it's nothing like being on Japan 225. So the thing about Japan 225 is that it is very wiki. All right. And what do I mean by that? Meaning that it likes to wick out, even though it does follow structure pretty well. So as you can see here, Japan did a major run up. Let me show you on the 4 hour. All right. Now, when I was looking at this chart, I know it was on most likely a Saturday or a Sunday when I try to do my chart just to look at the weekly outlook. And I saw that here, previous resistance was located here. So, seeing that it was bouncing and not making any lower lows, I was looking for a buy. Um, I do still do demo account because a lot of times because Japan, I like it so much, but it will destroy your account if you are not prepared for it to destroy your account. And baby, it will destroy your account, I promise. But when it goes in your favor, it's a beautiful action, just like any trading instrument. You really have to learn how it is. And Japan, my God, today, I don't know what to say about Japan, but I just know that if you do it right, it will really make that account larger than it surprisingly larger than expected. The pips on this, I don't even know the pips breakdown, but I just know that pip wise, even on a 0.01 lot is beautiful. You can be doing like, I don't know. I don't even know. Like, I just know like a one full candle for 15 minutes can get you $500, which is not bad. So anyway, as you can see here, it recently did a move, which is why I say it's very similar to the NAS, because I will show you what NAS did the other day as well. So as you can see in comparison, we have a major move up, just like in the Japan 225. All right. So what am I looking for? I don't think Japan is ready to do a full sell off because it just recently passed this high. The thing that I know about Japan is that it really does extend over. So I do expect a nice little pull back for it to continue up. Now, my continuation up that I'm considering, let's see if we do the fib for extension. I'm going to go from here um, to here. Well, I mean, it did make the 1.618. All right. Anyway, what I would be looking for on Japan 225 would be a nice little pullback. Get rid of some of this stuff. I do like to trade the orb because it does sometimes help me visualize. I'm a very visual person. That's why I have a lot of lines to try to keep me clear. The thing about the market is that there's a lot of things going on at once. And if you let it take it over and consume you, you will get lost in a trade. So I know it's a lot going on, but this is how my charts are, and it makes sense to me. As you can see, my goal lines are my support and resistance, and you can see that it is hitting on some really good, some bounces off of those parts. Now, mind you, a lot of these are already lines are previously marked from previous before. This was an all-time high not too long ago. So as you can see here, we have a line here, which was a recent or a past resistance. And then I have markings here. And I bet you if I go on a 4 hour, it will be touching something as well as here. And this is a beautiful mark because as you can see, it kept going through here but came back down. So I might have adjusted so to make sense for this support over here, but I'm quite sure this was my previous resistance over here, which also hits for over here. So let's just put another line here because it does make sense on both of those lines for those spots. So here this was probably when we were here. My note says still looking for a buy about 6,430. So where was that? 6,430, which it pretty much surpassed. And I'm telling you, I put this in. This is not me just typing up the notes because it doesn't even make sense for me to type up the notes now. Um, I told you it's Wednesday. I looked at it on Saturday. Um, I just saw that it was looking for a buy. And the one thing I will have to say if you're learning how to trade is that you really have to date your instruments. You have to learn your instruments. And I just know that this particular instrument does tend to run. Okay, it's very similar with NAS. When NAS wants to run, it runs. Don't try to short it or anything like that because you're going to be you're going to be taken out and your feelings are going to be hurt. So here, possibly even further, but if rejection above the order block short sell, then retrace. I had an order block. That bad boy went right past the order block, so I got rid of it. It's not even there anymore because it's not even important because it blew right past it. So my order block, if you want to know where it was for the previous chart, and this is why you should probably do this, my order block was right here where I have my doji, right here. This was my order block. And then I had dropped down to the 15-minute and I was able to find a fair value gap. So if I extend this over, that boy went right through it, right? That went right through the order block. And even if I did the fair value gap, it went through that too. So that's why sometimes I don't like the fair value gap, especially when it's in a buy. If you're for a short going in for a buy, it works very well. But not all fair value gaps are equal, as they say. So as you can see, it probably if I spin it over, you can see it just blew right past it, right? Just blew right past it. All right, so I got rid of this. So this is not important anymore. This doesn't help me with anything because all that money that was sitting here is now in this play here going up. Now, what am I looking for now? Potentially, I am looking for a very short. And I say short because I just know that it will probably do a nice little pullback and then shoot back up. So, being that we're on the 1 hour and this is live, this is at one, not live, at 1 o'clock. This run up happened from it started on Monday all the way up until today, which is Wednesday. So it's peaked up here at 7 a.m. I would be looking for a pullback to the top. My area of interest is to see what happens up here. I want to know what's going on, right? I want to know, like, we have a lot of consolidating right here at this point. Consolidating, what I mean, price is stalling out. So, because it's stalling out, are the sellers like the sellers and the buyers are like fighting it out. But I am starting to see that we are having more sellers here, so I'm very interested to see what's going on. Here's a fair value gap right here. Not much happened here. There's a lot of like moving around accumulation. So accumulation means that something's going on, some move is going to be happening. Either we're going to go up or we're going to go down. But what I would really like to see, I would really like to see the price come back up here, attempt to take out this high. If it does not take out this high, I'm going in for a short because that means it doesn't have enough power to continue on. And that is what I meant by price starting to teeter out, especially when you have a long run buy. So, um, my next area that I would be looking to short to will probably be this previous support here at 60,424 or 20 or even 550. Um, why? Because it was previous support. Now you can even do 6,860, but always just play it by ear. You can always look for a long swing. And unfortunately, you might have a short swing, but a profit is a profit. So that's what I would be looking for. So I will be keeping my eye on that. I want to see what happens during Asian session. Um, I'm probably not going to do much anything right now because we are going into the lunch afternoon session. So I'm not sure if we're going to be looking for if it's going to sell or if it's going to try to do that move up and then go down. I really wouldn't want to get in this sell. I don't know. We have a lot of consolidation right here. It is not making any higher highs. It is actually making some quite lower lows. And this is the 15 minutes. So let's see what we see on the 5 minute. Uh, Again, it's a lot of choppiness. It's a lot of consolidation. There's nothing really going on around here. So ideally, you need to sit on your hands and wait to see what the move is. If you wanted to, you can play the move. If it does go for a buy, but you know you're looking for a short, you can do a small buy up to around this area and then wait for the price to tell you what's going on. If it does take out that high, then we're probably going up more. If it does not reach this high area right here, I would be looking for a short. And if during Asian session, if we do a run up during this afternoon session, I'm looking for a short during Asian session. I am. And especially if it doesn't take out this previous high. This previous high was at 7 a.m. So that was definitely pre-market New York, London session. The thing I like about Japan is that it actually runs very similar like gold because gold runs all the time. I feel like you can catch a move no matter what. You can catch a move during Japan, you can catch a move during Asian or New York. So, all right, that's my analysis on Japan. So let's talk about Oracle. I love me some Oracle. So, Oracle would be something that, as you guys know, I'm a very impatient person. So holding stocks for me is just like, oh my God, it's like torture. So again, I was looking at my chart. I wish that my screen recording had worked. I'm having the most technical difficulties lately, and it's pissing me off. But anyway, so I did this note here looking for a buy. The stop loss is 170, which would be around this point. Let me go in a little bit more so you can see. 170 here. And this is the 4 hour. So at the time I was looking for a buy. And of course, I missed the move. Ugh. But anyway, at least my analysis was correct. Stop loss would have been here at 170, and my TPs would be the following: 209, 225, and 235. Let me put 35. Now, those are a long reach, but I do feel like it would eventually get there. Now, how long it takes to get there, I have no idea. So, why was I looking for a buy? Recently, Oracle has been selling off like crazy after it had a great earnings last year. Um, and as you can see, my trend line here, this is the most high. That's the highest it's ever been, which is almost 350. All right. If I would be interested, if I feel like it, I am going to be looking for some good leaps. I would be very interested for a 1 year or 2 year leap on Oracle at the price of 350. If I did my extension, I would be looking at 410, 439, or 485. Now, mind you, I feel like that probably would be like a more like a 3 year, but with leaps, you are able to roll them over. So anyway, back here. Recently my trend line which has been a very solid trend line, was crossed, right? This big green candle here. All right. So because this was crossed, okay, cool. And it closed above the trend line. Another confirmation for me. And my EMAs crossed on the 4 hour. My EMAs 921.50 and 200. I might have got rid of the 200. So anyway, we have a nice pull up. All right. This pull up passed the previous high at 184, as which I have previous support. All right, cool. So now what I'm waiting for is the pullback. This pullback wound up going to 160. This would have been the best time to get in the play. But of course, I'm late to the party because I'm focused on other things. But anyway, this pullback happened on April 30th, which wasn't too long ago. The breakthrough happened on April 13th, which is not that long ago. So we do have some room for the play. So I wouldn't, you could get into this play now. Stop loss would probably be at 178. I would be looking for this to go up to 209. Because that is my most other recent high, 208, 209. Also, we have a nice little gap here at 218. So I would definitely be looking for this gap to get filled. So you can even probably push it to about 225. But I would probably be on the safe side if I was doing an option. I would probably be doing like a 210. If you're looking for a cheaper one. You can also do one in the money right now at 190 for maybe a month out, maybe three. Three is going to cost you a little bit more. A month out will cost you not too bad, and it'll be a pretty good return on that one. Even if you got to 208 and closed out, you still would be in profit. So that would be that. But you want that month to 3 months to get the play, the breathe. You already know stocks move really slow. So, but the options are running daily because when you drop down on, not daily, but weekly. But when you drop down, it's still a lot of like previous highs or numbers to try to reach up to. But definitely this is a good play for a buy. Again, main target should be like 208. You do have some previous highs on the left that you can be targeting to. So you can target a 194, 203, 208. I would be looking to sell off at 208 or slightly above 208 because it would have taken the previous high money and then it would need to fall, like it would need to do a pullback to gather itself to try to keep going up. So that would be my interest play on Oracle. Um yeah, I would still enter the play. I will enter the play for 208 and probably a month out just to give myself some room. All right. That's my Oracle analysis. What else am I going to do for you today? So on my Forex, I am looking for, again, just like when futures and Forex, I like to play them both. Even though the price numbers are different, it's still the same instrument. So here on my Forex, I will be doing a swing short. Uh, where would I go? Is the question. Maybe not a swing short. If I was to swing this Forex account, I would probably swing down to about 46.10. It's right above this previous high here. And this would be a really like good extension back. So the thing about metals that I have learned is that your retracement is not like 0.50 or zero point 0.6. Usually is about 38. So if we're looking at a 0.38 pullback, it would be about 46.13. So I wasn't too bad off. So yeah, I would definitely be looking for a short for here, a pullback. Once we hit this pullback, then I would be going long. Um, and the reason why I'm going long is because we did not take out any previous major lows on the left for gold. As you can see over here, this is the big low right here at 4101. It did break that trend line, so that's why the sales, but we are starting to cross over to this other trend line here. Now, the point of this trend line, price has to close above the trend line for me to be really interested in a previous into another buy. So that would be my price action for that. So for right now, I don't really see a huge buy per se just yet, maybe in the next week or two. Um, but that's my analysis. So with Forex, I can actually afford to hold them a lot longer, and I'm not on a prop firm for the Forex. Well, some of the prop firms for Forex, you are able to do swings, so that is beneficial if you're a swing trader. With the prop firms for the futures, you're not allowed to hold overnight, so that is the disadvantage that I don't like about some of the future plays. That is why I had learned to trade during Asian session because a lot of times the moves do happen or occur at Asian or London. So because of that, I did learn how to be able to play all sessions. Especially with my work schedule and just how I like to trade. I love a swing trade just because I really like that chance for the play to actually breathe out. Um so that's gold, and let's take a quick look at oil. Now, oil futures and Forex do differ slightly, but not too much. The chart is the same, it's just the price points are different. So I know in overall oil is going to be bullish. And the reason why I can say that is because we have this low here, well, this high, and it melts down, boom. Now we go up. Now, I would be interested to see if the oil price comes down to this gap here. Not all charts have the gap, but this gap is money sitting right here. So I wouldn't be surprised if oil came down to fill this gap and then shot right back up. And technically, it still would be in market structure form, which on the 4 hour, that low, this, if you go in here, it would not take out the previous low, which would still be a bullish lookup. So for the long term of this play, I would be looking for a buy, but not just yet. I would really like to see it come all the way. So you see how this big old gap was here, and price did come in and get some of that money, but gaps need to be filled. It's not like a fair value gap. This is a gap. There's a whole bunch of money sitting right here that they need to grab so that they can go back up. Not always, but usually true. The gap does need to be filled. So, all right. So that's what I'll be looking for. I would be looking for price to come in and fill this gap at 84.39 or 50 area. And then I would like to see it just kind of zoom up. I do expect oil to be like at a 120, and may the odds ever be in our favor trying to get some gas. Cause it would be so expensive. It's expensive now. I filled up my tank last night. It was like almost $100. Like what? If I didn't know how to trade or had a decent job, how are you guys making it? I don't know how anybody is driving. I don't understand how people are Ubering or delivering food or anything like that because the gas just to fill up your car is insane to me. It's absolutely insane. But I guess that's why I have 4 jobs, this hustle, that hustle. And don't threaten me with a good time to do some fetish pictures or do some feet photography. I will do what I need to make things happen. So anyway, that's just a sidebar. So don't even mind me on that one. So those are my plays that I like to do. So I definitely like to do Japan 225. I mean Nas, I can go over Nas. I don't really play too much sometimes. But see, like Nas is starting to run again. Like, what am I talking about? I need to figure out where Nas is running to. That's what I need to do. I gotta do my fib extension and find out what is it most likely to go to. See, this was a beautiful support right here, and it just broke right on through. I don't know if you can see that, but if you go to my left, boom, boom, and then that bad boy just came through and was like, pew. So let's see what Nas does. It is running. I do think it's going to take that previous high. Definitely 28,700. What's this one? 528. Mm, I wouldn't be surprised if Nas is going to be 28,700 by the end of the week. Hell, it might even be 29,000. Let's see what Japan did in the minutes of me talking. Japan is consolidated. It's not really moving. Interesting. Oh, we got a green box. Might be a night. That might be my. Well, we still in the consolidation zone. All right. Anyway, let me get off of here. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, please leave the questions the comments below. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.